Hi, and welcome to Monday Morning. This is the eye opener of Monday morning, and today we're starting something that's going to be quite interesting over the next months ahead and years. It's going to be called, well, we're going to begin with Lynn Thomas, who is the CEO of Thomas Consulting, and she's going to be talking about understanding the customer life cycle. And once we get in through that, we're going to be taking each of these parts. Well, you're going to hear about it. I don't want to tell you all right now. Here's Lynn, pretty picture, huh? And I've been working with her for years and years. She's a great consultant. She just finished a book that we're going to tell you all about. It's going to be very interesting, but she's going to be talking about the life cycle of customers. And there's four phases in it. She talks about acquisition, assimilation, cultivation, and reactivation. And it's very interesting because you just don't think of your customers having where they fit in the life cycle. But I think we have to understand that any business really so that we can do it well. So she does a wonderful job of it, and you're going to like it. She's a good speaker, and she's really got some wonderful stuff. It's relatively short, and I think you're really going to buy into it. But in the meantime, too, I wanted to tell you that after we finish, I didn't have a slide on it, but now I do. Here's your contact information with Lynn if you want to get hold of her. Very interesting. She calls people's customers for them after they've left or something. Find out why. I mean, that's just one small thing she does, but it's quite interesting what she does, and so I think you're going to really enjoy this one. And then later times we're going to be talking about. She has a lot of checklists and all that sort of thing about really understanding our clients, our customers, and we'll be passing along those to you in the months ahead. Okay, one other little thing I wanted to tell you about, and that is that the Presidential Medal of Freedom is, I got this out of Forbes this last week. They're trying to get enough people to sign for Yogi Berra. And you know who Yogi Berra was, the catcher for the Yankees, so many years. Well, they said if anybody really, really deserves the Medal of Freedom, it's Yogi. And I started thinking, why? Well, he's 90 years old for starters. He was in the D-Day. He was in the Navy in D-Day invasion of World War II. You know, he's the greatest catcher in baseball history. We could go on and on, but you probably remember. If you don't, well, you know, you may be too young to remember, but he was wonderful. And he was the manager of the New York Mets, and he brought them in. Anyway, and he has the most famous sayings in the English language. A lot of things you probably use. Things like, when you come to the fork in the road, take it, or nobody eats there anymore, it's too crowded, or it's deja vu all over again. The future ain't what it used to be, or I didn't really say everything I said. He was so funny with it, but he was a wonderful addition to the world of America. And so if you would go to petitions.whitehouse.gov and look at the petition in there. They got like 70 some odd, but there's one there for Yogi. He's had 40 or 50,000 signed. We have to, by the end of this day, it needs to be over 80,000, but I suspect there'll be more by the time you go in. And why not? It costs you nothing, and it's kind of fun. I didn't even know they had such a thing as the petitions of the White House, and I learned a lot too. Anyway, thought you'd like to see that. Don't forget to go back to the email. There's a lot of good information in there, and we'll see you next Monday morning.